Our pathology is an adductor strain. For our first exercise, looking at range of motion, we would start her with clams and no resistance. The way to progress that would be to add a light resistance band. And have her perform the same exercise. And the way to progress that would just be to add resistance and number of sets and reps that she does. For our second exercise, we would be working on her hip adduction while on the table. This could also be included in 4 ways, but she would have her one leg, uninvolved leg, stabilized on the table, and her involved leg would be doing adducting. To progress that, she could use either a chair or, in this case, a small box. And she will be performing the same exercise. She will put the uninvolved leg on top and adducting her involved leg up to it. This takes away the stability of her top leg. And the way to progress that would be to put her in a side plank position, so she now no longer has hip stability, and then she will do the exact same exercise. The next exercise is Swiss ball squeezes. So returning to the table, she will have a Swiss ball placed in between both of her legs, laying down supine, kind of like that, and squeezing inward.
Assuming the ball is smaller.
The ball's a little bit too big.
And the way to progress that would be to increase the number of sets and reps, and then a final way to progress that would be against the clinician. So the clinician would place both arms in between her legs to prevent, and then she would release. And a further way to progress that would be to have her contract and hold.
Push. Push, push, push.
Our next exercise would be static stretching, which would be involving her range of motion against the clinician. Laying supine, this would activate a lower body stretch. Once this is done passively, it can now be active isolated, which would mean that the clinician would stretch and relax and stretch and hold for a couple seconds and then relax. To progress that, we would have the athlete back into active range of motion, so she would be doing dynamic stretching. Some examples of this would be Hitler kicks, open the gate, close the gate, karaoke's, yeah. Knees to chest, correct, thank you. Side lunges. And the way that we would further progress this is to start involving more cardio to get the athlete back into drills on the field with his team, no pads and no contact. And the further way to progress that would be obviously returning to full contact of play. Our next exercise is steamboats. This is working on both hip adduction, abduction, flexion, extension. She's stabilizing herself with the uninvolved leg, and she's working her involved leg, working on strengthening. A way to progress that would be one, to put her on an AirX pad. And two, if at all possible,